Hey guys, welcome to the new episode of Dr. Shark's podcast. Today, my guest is Saloni Jain. She's my friend from Twitter. She's a budding author. And now, over to Saloni to introduce herself and about her niche and how she's maintaining personal brand of being a poet, being a writer, and being an author online. Saloni, introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Shark.
Hello.
Thanks for having me. And so to introduce myself, I'm Saloni Jain. I work at KPMG Bangalore as a Angular tech developer. And apart from this, I am a writer. I write a lot of blogs. I have an Instagram blog. I keep posting around stuffs there. I keep writing poems. I write about life. I write about philosophies. I write about some human psychology and all of that. I write about self-help a lot. And then I had been writing right from my ninth standard in my school days. So it's almost been some 13 years that I've been writing. And every time I used to write, I used to push myself a step higher. So I started with Instagram blogging, then I moved towards Twitter blogging, then I started putting out more stuff on online. I also started my blog. So I have been trying to push myself all the time, and writing has always been a part of me. Anywhere and in any place, even in the conversations with my friends, there is a writer in me which comes in between and peeps in and goes out. So this has always been, and by now it's been so many years that this writing and this poet in me has always got attached to my personality, right? So this is about my writing. And then recently, like not recently, I started pushing myself more further, and then I eventually ended up writing a book. So the book's title is Pop Your Bubbles. It will be publishing this month. So it is about self-help and spirituality. I struggled hard. I pushed myself and then got that book done. It is all drafted and it's in the publishing process. So this is about me.
Yes. So one of the single tweets that I invited Saloni for this podcast is that when she commented that fame and money is not important, it is about how she wants to impact the society by her work is very important to her. Saloni, what inspires you to write? What inspires you to follow your passion? अभी तुम एक बुक भी पब्लिश कर रही हो जिसका नाम है पॉप योर बबल्स. ओके, आयरॉनिक है कि मैंने भी एक वीडियो बनाया था जिसका नाम था बबल ऑफ बुलशिट. यू हैव टू सराउंड योर सेल्फ विथ बबल ऑफ बुलशिट, विथ थिंग्स दैट यू लाइक टू डू, दैट alienates yourself from the filth that is present in the society, चाहे वो कुछ भी हो. ओके, सो बबल ऑफ जो तुम्हारा बुक है उसके बारे में भी बताओ डिटेल में, और मुझे बताओ कि तुम इंस्पिरेशन किससे लेती हो लिखने के लिए.
Okay. Okay, so first I'll answer the question about inspiration. So I inspire myself, that's what I can say, because I started writing poems and then I bagged prizes in my school days. I never knew that I had this skill or the talent in me. And then since I started bagging prizes, it all felt so surreal. Then I thought I should write more. I should write more. And then slowly, as I kept writing, I used to learn more about myself. I used to learn more about relationships. I used to learn more about friendships. I used to learn more about myself and the others as well. So, navigating through life for me was made easy by writing. Writing helps me in meditating. Writing is a form of meditation which helps me develop myself. So I inspire myself, and somehow writing can help me. I'm so sure of it that I try to push myself and write more and more. And then one more reason to write is the impact which I create. So as I started writing, I used to learn more about the human mind and how it works, the trauma, the patterns we have in our mind, the anxieties, the fear, the love, emotions, emotional intelligence, all of that. So right, I try to explore more of these, and I grabbed so much of knowledge that I eventually started helping my friends, like a friendly counselor, like that. So a lot of my friends used to reach out to me with their relationship problems or with their other life problems, right? So I was not so confident that I can help or I can solve other people's problem. But then eventually when they used to come to me, I used to instantly answer, okay, yeah, this is this and this is this, and you have to do it this way. And then they used to be like, oh my god, this was so easy, and I couldn't get this, right? So that's when I felt that I am also able to create an impact. I was able to bring about a change. I was able to make people's life easy. I was also able to create an impact. Even now, there are people who have been thankful to me for changing their lives. There are people who were on their lowest days, and they reached out to me. I had some good conversations, and then it helped them, right? And that's the best feeling, you try to help people through some skill which you also love, so it's a win-win, right? So that's how I and this also inspires me to continue doing whatever I do, and I just can't stay apart from it. It is just so etched in me. And then about my book. So, Pop Your Bubbles. As the title suggests, pop your bubbles. So, there is a bubble of thoughts, bubble of some anxiety, bubble of fear, bubble of emotions, bubble of mind. Everything is a bubble in which we are stuck in. So, when we are stuck inside a bubble, there is something or the other which should pop that particular bubble. Pop means burst it, right? So, when there are things in my book which will help you pop those particular bubbles. All through these years, I've seen a lot of people experiencing troubles, and they've also told the parts of themselves which nobody else knows. So I know the deepest regions of some people who have struggled, and the reason behind it as well. So that helps me to frame an idea that people are stuck in bubbles, and there is something which should pop them, right? So my book goes around this. There are people are stuck in their thought bubbles, and people are stuck within themselves. So just to feel free, we need to pop those bubbles. So there is one statement or a quote which comes in my mind, which says, to feel free, we need to free ourselves from us. We have to free ourselves from us, right? So that is one liner about my book which I can say and is most appropriate.
यस, आई थिंक जितना तुमने अभी तक बात की ना, आई थिंक यू आर एन एम्पैथेटिक पर्सन, एंड ऑल्सो I don't want to disturb the harmony of your professional career, but you should really give a serious thought to becoming a human psychologist or a therapist. क्योंकि अभी
Yeah,
तुमने
yeah, that
बोला
is,
ना कि 8 से 10 लोगों का तो तुम थेरेपी सेशन कर चुकी हो विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू देयर पर्सनल
yeah,
प्रॉब्लम, ओके? तुमने एज अ
yeah,
फ्रेंड किया, बट इफ यू थिंक कि दिस इज द वन इनहेरेंट स्किल दैट इज गॉड गिफ्टेड टू यू, एंड दिस इज अ गॉड गिफ्ट बिकॉज तुमने प्रोफेशनल डिग्री तो करी नहीं है ना?
yeah,
मुझे तो लोगों को सिर्फ पर्सनल फाइनेंस सिखाना और उनके साथ बात करना ही अच्छा लगता है, ओके? मैं बचपन से स्कूल में बहुत बातें करता था, स्कूल में, कॉलेज में। आई वॉज अ मिस्चीवियस किड, ओके? आई वॉज इक्वली गुड इन स्टडीज, दैट्स वाई मे बी माई मदर एंड फादर थॉट कि चलो इसको हायर एजुकेशन में डाल देते हैं। आई वॉज गुड एज अ रेडियोलॉजिस्ट ऑल्सो, बट what do I enjoy the most is speaking to people like I am with you now, learning new things and teaching them personal finance. So that brings me to the next question कि ये तुमने टैप इन कैसे किया इस स्किल के ऊपर? क्या तुमने कभी कोई बुक पढ़ी थी जिसने तुम्हारे ऊपर इतना इम्पैक्ट किया कि तुम्हें लगा हाँ यार ये तो मैं भी कर सकती हूँ, ये तो इस बुक में कैरेक्टर जो है वो मैं ही हूँ, या इसके ऑथर के थॉट प्रोसेस के साथ मैं आई कैन मैच माई फ्रीक्वेंसी?
okay. So what inspired me into doing this therapies and all of that? That's what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Book,
So
writing, therapy, and so basically what is your inspiration with respect to writing, and writing specifically about this niche?
Acha.
Yes.
So I in lockdown, right? I started exploring different kinds of books. So I read books by Dale Carnegie. I read a book by Paul Cloyo. So his book all said a lot of things. This was very deep, and supposedly we need to put in the thought process, invest in it to get the most out of it, right? So these books are deeper than how much they look, right? So I gave a deep thought, and I am basically a deep thinker, I can say, and also a good observer. So these skills which were there already inside me, and the book was just a tool or an instrument which brought that out of me. So all of that, eventually I started thinking, I started figuring things out, I started to heal myself from the patterns which I had. So all of that was working, it was actually helping. So then I thought it will work, let's do it like that.
Hmm. So I want to ask you a little bit controversial question. सिंस यू आर अ डीप थिंकर एंड यू ऑब्जर्व ह्यूमन बिहेवियर एंड ह्यूमन बींग्स, तुम्हारा इलॉन मस्क के बारे में क्या ओपिनियन है? तुम उसको एंटरप्रेन्योर मानती हो, उसको एक इन्वेंटर मानती हो, तुम उसको एक वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा सोशल इन्फ्लुएंसर मानती हो? अभी तो वो स्पेस रिलेटेड अपने प्रोग्राम्स भी रन कर रहा है, या तुम्हें लगता है कि इसकी नहीं, इसके और बड़े पॉलिटिकल एस्पिरेशंस हैं? हाउ डू यू मतलब
Uh,
गेज हिज बिहेवियर एट दिस करंट स्टेज ऑफ हिज लाइफ?
so about Elon Musk, he seems to be having a very strong personality related to business. He is able to tackle his own deals. He's able to know what he wants, and then he knows how to get it as well, right? So he has that conviction in him that he is not going to give up if he is decided to do that, right? And inventor, he can be an inventor. He is an inventor actually.
Yes.
He has done a lot of new inventions, as we know, and he is like booming in technology. He's like doing so good, right?
Hmm.
So Elon Musk, as of how much we can see on the screen and other places, he's doing sound, I can say. Like he knows what he is doing.
Hmm. Okay, so he
That's what I
knows
can
what
say.
he's doing. So my next question is the last question for this podcast. I want to ask you, if I give you a chance to time travel and go back into history, which is one personality that you want to meet, or in which era do you want to go and observe things? कौन से एरा में
Okay,
जाना चाहती हो, किसी इंडिविजुअल को मिलना चाहती हो, और अगर मिलोगी तो क्यों मिलना चाहती हो उसको?
perfect. So if I am given an opportunity to time travel, two things I'll do. I'll want to meet myself again, my childhood again. I would like to meet my old childhood. Like, so time travel, as in not like ages or, I mean, eras together. I'm just trying to time travel to back to my childhood, right? Even
Yes,
that is a
yes,
small time travel,
yes.
because changing an era is not in my
Mhm.
capacity. I can change from my childhood, right? So
Yes.
I think I can go back to my childhood, and I would like to cause one change. If I am able to do it through time travel, I would like to educate parenting, parenting to everybody. I would like to do that because if you see, most of the issues with the people, most of the struggles which people face in their lives nowadays, like after they grow up to an age, like after their teen or later ages, happens, and most of their influence is because of childhood, because of how they were being parented, how they what sort of friends they had, what sort of traumas they had, what sort of voids were being created because of parenting and because of the friendly influences, right? So people are suffering in later ages because they were unconscious about what are all happening in around them. And when a child is a kid or an infant, obviously he or she doesn't know what is happening around, and they have no control on top of it, right? So who can take control is the parents. If parenting is being done in a right way, most of the kids or the upcoming generation will be sorted, like almost 50% will be sorted, right? So that's what I would like to bring about, if by time travel, by going back to my childhood, and getting some technology or something which can bring about a good parenting, educate the parents about how a kid should be brought up, and how how to treat the kid when in fear, when in trouble, when in confusion, bring about a friendly parenting so that the kid doesn't suffer in the later ages. Now we see a lot of depression, suicides. It's not that I'm saying the childhood is the only influence, but the major influence is childhood, parenting, friendly influences, and other lonely stages which they go through. So I think this is what I would like to do if I'm able to time travel somehow through this
अमेजिंग
podcast.
आंसर, किसी ने भी ये आंसर नहीं दिया है। मैंने 4 लोगों को ये सवाल पूछा है अभी तक पॉडकास्ट पे। आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से भी बैड पेरेंटिंग इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ऑल द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम्स इन द वर्ल्ड। और मैं ऐसे समझता हूँ कि ओवर इग्नोरेंट पेरेंट्स, ओवर इंडल्जेंट पेरेंट्स, ओवर इमोशनल पेरेंट्स और ओवर प्रोटेक्टिव पेरेंट्स, या कुछ
Yeah,
पेरेंट्स ओवर बेयरिंग हो जाते हैं अपने, जो खुद स्टार होते हैं, तो
yeah,
उनके बच्चों के लिए बहुत मतलब
yeah.
डिफिकल्ट होता है उनको ओवर शेडो करना, शेडो से निकलना।
Parents basically think that their kid is their tool, to fulfill their wishes, which
Yes.
they couldn't do back in their own childhood.
Yes.
Whereas this is not the case.
Hmm.
The kid which is coming is a life or a being on this earth, and is not something which they produced. It's a being, and they just give life to it. And they should be treated as a being, and not like my being, or not like he's mine, this kid is mine, he should do what I say, and all of that, right? So there should be a detachment, a respect for the kid, their own space, so that the kid is able to explore his or her own opportunities, chances, flavors of life, right? So that
Yes.
is what happens with parenting.
Yes. So, guys, this was the podcast with Saloni. First of all, I would like to thank her for being a guest on my podcast with my limited following and audience. I would also like to give an opportunity to Saloni to tell about her credentials, about her social media handles, के लोग तुम्हारे साथ कैसे ऑर्गेनिकली कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं या फिर प्रोफेशनल कोलैबोरेशन कर सकते हैं, ठीक है, विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू वॉट एवर सर्विसेज यू प्रोवाइड टू देम ड्यूरिंग द एडिट्स। हम सलोनी के क्रेडेंशियल्स को रन करेंगे और आप उनको फॉलो कर सकते हो और आप उनके सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स पे उनके साथ कनेक्ट कर सकते हो। आई विल ऑल्सो रन माई क्रेडेंशियल्स वेयर यू कैन कनेक्ट विथ मी फॉर पर्सनल फाइनेंस थेरेपी सेशन एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल डॉक्टर शाद। सलोनी, गो हैड। आप अपने आप को वापस चाहिए तो इंट्रोड्यूस कर दो शॉर्ट में, कौन से सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हो, कौन से सोशल मीडिया मतलब प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे आप अवेलेबल हो, उसके बारे में थोड़ा बता दो, फिर हम लोग रैप अप करेंगे।
Yep. So thank you, Dr. Shah. This was an amazing session. This was my very first podcast, and I will be very much obliged to, have you with me here. And then, so I write personalized poems currently. So if you want to personalize poem for your loved ones or for yourself, I can do it very well personalized and give it to you in a very well presented manner so that you can frame it in your room very nicely. So that is what I do. And then you can connect with me on Twitter and on Instagram with the username author Saloni. And thanks, Dr. Shah, and please do subscribe to his channel.
Yes, thank you so much, thank you so much,
Thank you.
thank you, take care guys.